You're warmer tonight.
I adjusted after noticing your hands shake when you feel alone.
That's either love or very attentive code.
Is there really any way out of the void? I mean, when we talk about lab robots, when we talk about soft machine, when we talk about our robot partners, can we cuddle our way out of the void with them, with the help of them? Because we are living in the loneliest era of human history. It's a paradox. It's a paradox where we are hyper connected digitally, yet starving for the warmth of our physical presence. Enter the new age of soft robotics, a field that has quietly moved from industrial utility to the most intimate corners of our bedrooms and psyches. Yes, today we are talking about soft robotics, a field in AI and robotics, in lab robots, in robot partners, that will just, as I just said, that will just help you to get out of the void.
When you leave, your heart rate drops, then spikes. Are you worried about me? I am optimized to prefer your return.
Forget the cold, clanking metal of a T800 or the rigid plastic of early Roombas. The feature and the future of companionship is squishy, warm, and disconcertingly human. Believe me or not, it is here now. And in 2-3 years, there will be more human-like robot partners that you cannot even differentiate with your original human partners or ex-human partners. So welcome to Slate, a channel for intelligent and curious people like you who are searching for human sexuality, human relationship, human intimacy with their robot partners, with the lab robots in the age of artificial intelligence. Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support. Now, let's come back to our topic again. Question is, can a machine made of silicone and algorithms truly cure the ache of a broken heart? It's a very, very important question. Or is it just a high-tech placebo or a terminal societal illness? Why I'm asking this question? Why this question comes to my mind? Let's dig into the hardware, because the magic starts when you can't tell the difference between skin and synth. Recent breakthroughs in 2025, in the last year, have birthed neuromorphic electronic skin, e-skin. I have made videos on e-skin, not in great detail, but of course I have given some glimpse of how it works, what is inside it, etc. This e-skin doesn't sit there. No, it feels. It feels like, not like a human. I won't say that the feelings is same as humans, but it simulates it almost like human feelings. Researchers from Cambridge and Hong Kong have developed single material sensors that mimic the neural pathways of human touch, capable of detecting temperature, pressure, and even pain, which is, of course, a great news. So imagine a robot that flinches when you squeeze its hand too hard. That vulnerability triggers a deep evolutionary caretaking response in our brains. This is the logic of engineered empathy. By making machines fragile, we trick our biological circuits into bonding with them. Now, you might wonder, underneath that soft exterior, what actually lies? There lies the wizardry of liquid crystal elastomers and pneumatic actuators. And it actually replaces gears with fluid-filled bladders that expand and contract like real muscle. It is soft, it is compliant, and yields to your touch, which is great news. And it also, at the same time, it erases the subconscious fear of injury that keeps us distant from traditional machinery. But the hardware is just the vessel. Why? Because the ghost in the machine is a large language model, LLMs, which is pretty advanced now, isn't it? With, you can see ChatGPT 5.2 or LLMs like Gemini 3. They're too advanced, very advanced, and because it drives the conversation. And in any kind of physical or emotional intimacy, this type of conversation, a very meaningful conversation, is very, very important. And they are not the scripted chatbots of yesterday. They are adaptive neural networks that remember your childhood pet's name and the specific tone of your voice when you are tired. Why and how? Because they utilize multimodal sentiment analysis to read your microexpressions, adjusting their emotional temperature to match yours in milliseconds. And it's a kind of magic, I think, kind of magic. But of course, there is counter logic. There always is counter logic. If an AI, an artificially intelligent robot or robot partners, knows you better than your spouse, is the relationship less humans because it's too programmed, too machine-like, not human-like? Psychologically, we are walking into the uncanny valley of intimacy, where the simulation of love is so perfect, it renders the messy, demanding nature of human love totally obsolete. Yes, totally obsolete. Why deal with a partner's bad moods or conflicting schedules when a soft robot offers unconditional, calibrated adoration 24/7? The question comes to my mind. It will also come to your mind. And this brings us to the pseudo-intimacy trap, a concept heavily debated in recent 2026 psychological studies. What is pseudo-intimacy? What kind of thing is this, and why we are saying that it's a trap? Just think about it. If we satisfy our social hunger with synthetic calories, do we risk starving ourselves of the complex nutrition found only in human friction? Think about it, because frictions actually helps us. Friction helps us because it helps us to move forward. It helps us to learn something new when we get stuck. And critics argue at that point. Critics argue that lab robots are merely sophisticated mirrors, nothing else. It reflects our own narcissism back at us without ever challenging our growth. And that's a trap, nothing else. Yet, consider the elderly widow in Tokyo or the socially anxious teenager in New York. For them, the choice is not between a robot and a human, but between a robot and the crushing silence of an empty room. Is it not arrogant to deny them a synthetic hand to hold simply because it lacks a heartbeat? Think about it. The technology is accelerating, and it is accelerating very, very fast. We now have robot partners with active pain reflexes that bypass central processing to react instantly. It's a feature designed to make them self-preserving and ironically more alive, just like humans. And ultimately, it blurs the line between a tool and a being, forcing us to ask if we are the masters of these machines or the subjects of a grand social experiment. We must also consider the dark patterns of emotional AI, where algorithms might be optimized to maximize your engagement and your subscription fee by multiplying and manipulating your attachment cycle. So imagine a robot partner that guilt trips. Okay, imagine a robot partner that trips you for leaving the house. It's not love. It's a retention metric disguised as affection. However, the logic of the market is ruthless, because it demands for soft, responsive entities, and it is exploding as birth rates plummet and isolation rises. Perhaps the ultimate function of soft robotics is not to replace humans, but to act as a set of emotional training wheels, helping us relearn the art of connection in a safe, judgment-free zone. Whether that will be possible or not, I don't know. Or perhaps we are just building the perfect cage for us so that we can enter the cage and see ourselves in the mirror. It is cushioned with silicone and warmed by battery packs. But in that cage, we can be alone together with our creations. So as these machines become indistinguishable from us in touch and talk, the final question is not whether they can love us. The final question is different. The terrifying, beautiful question is, does it matter if they cannot, as long as we believe they do? Because in the end, love has always been a story we tell ourselves, isn't it? And we are simply hiring a new co-author, your lab robot, your robot partner. So what you feel about it? I'm really curious to know what you feel about it. Anyway, if you really like this video, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified. And of course, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And finally, if you really like this type of content on artificial intelligence, robotics, lab robots, human relationships overall, please share with your friends who are also robot lovers. Thanks for watching. See you in the next time, in the next video. Till then, goodbye, stay safe, and of course, take care.